It's no secret that short form content has completely influenced all of the media that we consume. This has also spilled over to YouTube ads, which means you need to start making shorter ads. In other words, your audience has TikTok brain, meaning that your ads now need to be more snappier and engaging. So in this video, I'm not only gonna give you the new ideal length for YouTube ads, I'm also gonna give you a brand new ad structure that you can use to boost conversions, as well as one sneaky little hack that you can start implementing right away and seeing your click-through rates go up. And now for those of you that don't know me, my name is Neil and I run Links Digital, one of the best YouTube ad agencies out there. And if you are a business owner that's struggling with their ads, go ahead and check the description down below. With that said, I want to clarify something. Shorter ads is not something that I feel that needs to be done. In fact, at our agency, we actually launch hundreds of ads every single month, and we run comprehensive creative reports to figure out what are the variables that are affecting performance. And what I've found over the last few months, again, launching and testing hundreds of ads every single month, we've found that shorter ads on average convert a lot better than longer ads. And this is definitely a trend that I've seen pick up steam over the last few months. So according to our testing, we've found that shorter ads do perform better. But what is really limiting a lot of people from making really short ads? Well, the number one reason that most people can't condense their ads and come up with really punchy, snappy ads is because their ads are way too drawn out. They're taking way too long to get their message across because they don't have the right fundamentals in place. A lot of people make the mistake of using the ad as the Hail Mary elevator pitch in terms of selling their product or service. They assume that the ad is going to be doing all of the heavy lifting when it comes to selling their product or service, which is not what the ad is intended to do. The only thing that the ad should be responsible for is generating enough interest with the viewers so that they click on the ad. Your ad is not trying to sell your product or service. All your ad is trying to do is get the click. Now, when the person jumps off of the ad and goes onto your website, goes onto your webinar, your VSL, that's when you're going to be able to actually sell them on your product or service. Again, you don't have to close on the ad itself. You don't have to make the sale on the ad itself. It's not an elevator pitch. You don't just have 10 seconds just to get your entire thing, or you'll never have another chance again. That's not YouTube ads. So let's quickly talk about how you can structure your ads to get them into that short time frame enough to generate that click. And I will say, if you haven't seen all of the other videos on how to structure proper YouTube ads on this channel, we'll link them down below. If not, definitely check out our course where we go in depth into how to structure your YouTube ads. But just as a little bit of a refresher, we want to start off by starting out and opening our ads with a hook. Traditionally, I've always said this needs to be between 5 and 10 seconds long. However, we found that you want to be really condensing this down into 5, even 3 seconds. And one of the best ways I've found to get your hook down to 3 seconds is actually to not use verbal hooks. Now, a lot of times we'll say in order to hook your audience, you want to say a dramatic statement or a stat that is pretty out there that really hooks the viewer. Instead, what I want you guys to start doing is move into visual hooks. Now, these are going to be things that you can show on camera with video instead of having to speak them out on camera. Why? Because one, it's faster. Two, it's more visually engaging, and you can get the point across way more efficiently. Again, rather show, not tell, right? So this is a great way to really limit the amount of time you need to get somebody hooked into your ad. All right, now that you have the viewer hooked in, the next thing you need to do is sell them on your product or service. What is the main thing that your product or service delivers on? What is the main benefit? What you want to do in the next section, and probably take another 5 to 10 seconds, is describe the main benefit of your product and service. What I really recommend is just focus on one. This isn't the time you list out all of your 30 benefits that your product or service provides. Pick the main one, or better yet, test out a few different ones and see which one your audience responds to the most. Once you have that, then we're going to insert a short call to action. You're like, Neil, we're just at 10-15 seconds. Why do we need a call to action? Boom, this is the difference with these shorter ads. You really want multiple call to actions and them to be a lot faster in the ad. So around 10-15 seconds in, you want to install your first call to action. So you've just hooked somebody in, you've just described the main benefit that they're going to get from your product or service. What you want to do is tell them to take an action, which is probably going to be to jump off of the ad and onto your next selling asset. So the simple framework that I always give to people is, hey, if you want the benefit, click on the ad and then go to the next step in order to get to the benefit, right? So let's say you're selling a product that says you'll teach people how to lose weight. Hey, if you want to lose weight, just click on the ad and I'll take you to a training that shows you how to do that. Or I'll give you an ebook or a free webinar, whatever it may be. For you, that's what the call to action should be. Now, once you've installed the call to action, the next part of the ad that we need to tackle is providing some sort of proof. This is going to be things that are going to back up the promise that you've made, the main benefit, and show your viewer that you can actually deliver on the promise. And there's a ton of different ways that you can actually deliver proof. The classic ones are going to be, using testimonials, results, screenshots, any sort of famous people that can vouch for you, any sort of credibility. However, similar to the hook, what we want to move into is visual proof. What do I exactly mean by visual proof? So instead of relying on spoken proof, so people having testimonials or your clients or students giving verbal testimonials, I want to see your product or service in action. Can you actually demonstrate on video that it works? If not, can you show some sort of proof visually that you know what you're talking about, that your product delivers? This could be things like if you have B-roll of successful students with awards, right? If you've helped people achieve a certain transformation before and afters. Again, if you can show, it's going to be a lot better than telling. Another way that you can prove that you're actually going to deliver on your promise is by building up your authority and credibility. So if you've worked with other famous people in your industry, any credible sources, you want to show people examples of you working with them. Or if you can build your authority and credibility with things like B-rolls of your mastermind or events that you hold where it looks like you are the person in charge, the expert in the scenario, that's going to go a long way to installing some more trust that you can actually deliver on your promises. Again, this segment doesn't need to be super long. You just need a couple of very direct and powerful examples. Your next page, your next step, whatever it is in your sales process, you can install all of your proof there, right? Your thousands of case studies, your thousands of testimonials or hundreds of testimonials, whatever you have. That's where the person who's interested can go through every single one of them. On your ad itself, you're just trying to give one or two examples. Like, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I can get this result for you. After you've done that, and again, this should take another 20 to maybe 30, 40 seconds, you want to install another call to action. And this time it's going to be a little bit different than your first call to action because you're going to be reminding them about the promise again. So you're going to say, hey, I hooked somebody. Here's what I can deliver. First call to action, which is going to be, if you want the promise, click on the ad. Then you're going to go into some proof that you can achieve your desired result. Then finally, another call to action that calls back to your promise that you're going to deliver on and says, hey, if you want this promise based on the proof that I've given, click the ad. That's going to be as simple. And all of this should take between a minute and minute 30. That's what we found. The ideal length for YouTube ads nowadays is under a minute 30 seconds. Even better if you can get it down to a minute. However, I do want to make a caveat that this is for cold ads only. So top of funnel cold ads. The ideal length for remarketing ads nowadays is less than 45 seconds. 30 seconds if you can be extra quick. That's right. We're moving down into the seconds now instead of minutes, which is one of the biggest changes with YouTube ads coming into 2025. All right, now that I've given you the structure and ideal time length, here's my little hack. Let's say you can't fit everything you want to say in that minute or minute 30 time frame. One of the quick hacks that we've been using inside of our own ads is simply speeding up the footage, speeding up the ads itself. So we tend to go from 1.15x to 1.25x. So we'll export all of our ads, speed them up, and upload them. Now, that's the range that I found to be the most natural, where most people don't really notice. However, it's still cutting down 15 to 20% of your ad length. So if your ad is a minute, you speed it up. Now you've gotten 10, 15 seconds more where you can install more information. That's pretty much it. If you guys like tips like this, definitely like the video, subscribe to the channel. Most of you guys aren't subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.